Hey gang, it's your boy Platt. Today we're wrapping up the spirit or the rum section of the Spirit series. Today we're going to focus on a rum that many of you may have heard of but don't really know much about, and that is Cachaca. Looks like it should be pronounced Cachaca, but it's pronounced Cachaca. Cachaca is a distilled spirit from sugarcane juice from Brazil. In the past, it's gone by many different names: Aguardiente, Pinga, Canina, and Aquabenta. Aquabenta is translates into the term holy water. At one time here in the U.S., it was marketed as Brazilian rum. If you found an old bottle from 20, 30 years ago, it would say Brazilian rum. There was a push, though, in the mid-2000s that capped off around 2013 that got the term Cachaca a legal recognition. In Brazil, there was a push. They wanted Cachaca to get the same kind of protection that the term cognac or bourbon or Scotch from Scotland gets. And thus today, you will see the term Cachaca. You won't see Brazilian rum used anymore here in the U.S., or we'll see that term. Like I said, you'd have to find an older bottle. You may immediately kind of think, well, wait a minute. Didn't we talk rum agricole? In rum agricole from the cane juice, what's the difference? Well, of course, the primary difference is that this is produced in Brazil. We talked about how rum agricole could be produced anywhere. There was a specific AOC for rum agricole from Martinique, but that didn't preclude anybody from making rum agricole anywhere else. You gotta make Cachaca in Brazil. Also, a slight difference between the two. Cachaca can be bottled at between 76 and 96 proof. That's a little lower range than rum agricole. You can go a little bit higher there. Also, here in the States, Cachaca can contain up to 6 grams of sugar per liter. I believe rum agricole can have sugar added too, but not as much. One of the things that also differentiates rum agricole and Cachaca, but what they also kind of similar to is they both have a cocktail tied into them, their history. We talked about the tea punch with rum agricole. Cachaca's drink, as many of you may know, is the caipirinha. Tea punch, remember, was the base spirit, a little bit of granulated cane sugar, and the end of a lemon or end of a lime, and you just had a little bit of the pith and just a little bit of the meat, and you just stirred that drink. A caipirinha is we will take the base spirit, sugar, we will throw in ice, and we would muddle some limes. We would quarter or wedge a lime, use almost a whole lime, or maybe about half lime, throw it in, muddle all that together, and then shake the drink. Remember the tea punch we swirled. So similar drinks, but slightly different, just kind of featuring the spirit in a little different way. When comparing Cachacas to regular rum, or how that relationship is, think of it as cognac with brandy. Cognac, all cognacs are brandy, but not all brandies are cognac. Same with rum. Cachaca is a rum, even though it's got a designation of something else. But not all rums are Cachaca, so don't get the two confused. A little history on Cachaca. The Portuguese brought sugar cane to Brazil in 1532. Sugar cane is not native to Brazil or even the Caribbean. It was brought, the Brazilians brought it from the Madeira Islands just off their coast, and that was where they were producing sugar. They decided to move the production to Brazil. They had all kinds of land to work with. They also had slave labor to work with. Thus, sugar cane production was shifted there. Shortly thereafter, pot stills and the distilling knowledge came along, and before you know it, they were making rum that later became kind of Brazil's old thing, Cachaca. What you may not know, what I found stunning when I first researched Cachaca, Cachaca is the third most popular spirit in the world, behind vodka, of course, #1, soju, #2. Soju's from Korea, if you don't know much about that. But for a long time, however, most of that Cachaca, nearly all that Cachaca, was consumed in Brazil. Only about 1% or so ever made it out and that was generally to Germany up until about the early to mid 2000s. Then some of the cachaça started making its way up to the States. The caipirinha cocktail really blew up on the cocktail scene, and the rest, they say, is history. There are two main styles of cachaça. There is the unaged, also known as branca or white, and then there is the aged, also known as oro or gold. It's the aged cachaça that really stands out. For rum, most rums, even rum agricole, if you're aging it, generally you're using either a used bourbon barrel, maybe sometimes you use some new oak, you might use old sherry barrel, wine barrels, what have you, but the wood is always oak, and usually American oak. In Brazil, for the cachaça, when they age it, they use native trees. I think there's 5, 6 different trees they use, and they provide unique flavor and also unique color. When you think aged rum, we think of a brown spirit, or at least an amber kind of spirit. Sometimes you might get some red notes in it, but cachaça, some of the woods give almost a yellow color to it, almost like what you would think of a banana liqueur looking at. The different woods provide a vastly wider array of flavors instead of not just the generic vanilla or caramel you'll get out of a bourbon barrel sometimes. Really allows the cachaça producer, you know, a wider range to work with, different flavor profiles, this, that, and the other. Not a lot of those cachaças, the aged cachaças, are here in the States yet, but it's something I would encourage you to keep an eye out for. The particular cachaça we're going to try today is the most popular cachaça in the U.S. That is Leblon cachaça, 80 proof. In Brazil, they have kind of a battle or a back and forth about cachaças made from a column still or a continuous still, and cachaças made from pot stills. They consider anything from a continuous still or a column still to be kind of industrial, kind of not rot gut, but lower grade, and that pot stilled cachaças are artisan or craft. This particular one is actually pot distilled, and it's been 6 months in cognac cask, oddly enough. Smooths it out a little bit. They do filter it, so we still get a clear cachaça. Let's give her a try. Woo! One thing also that's similar with aguardiente and cachaça is a single distillation. You catch that on the nose. It's less refined. It's wilder. Again, similar to rum agricole in that sense. You're going to get a little of that vegetal. Because we haven't done multiple distillations, we're not that far removed from the base product, which was sugar cane. We can almost smell that kind of damp, musty sugar cane. You know, you're in the field. Smell to it. Again, with a industrial rum, you know, your generic Bacardi Light or whatever, is kind of stripped a lot of that stuff out. You get that on the nose here. Let's give it a try. All right, plenty of sweetness. It is smoother than that rum agricole we tried before. A little miller on the palate. That being said, also too, kind of, to me, it's a little simpler than the rum agricole. Nice sweetness, not much more on the taste. I don't pick up much of that cognac cask. I do pick up maybe a little sugar, the viscosities, a little more. Maybe again that's because maybe the sugar in there. Overall, nice spirit. I could definitely see where I would use this in a similar fashion to a light rum in cocktails and what have you. Obviously, it will go perfect with a caipirinha. But again, I could use it in other rum-based cocktails. You could throw that with a cola and a lime. I'm not sure there's enough funk. I don't know how this would work in a pina colada. That being said, most likely the pina colada mix would dominate it anyway. So, but overall, nice, smooth. It's smooth enough. Smooth enough. Being an unaged spirit, I'm probably not going to drink this on the rocks or neat anyway. So it will work fine with whatever mixture I try. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section. Or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.